Do you want tzatziki sauce in your pantry all year long? If you're like me and you have way more cucumbers than you can handle, make this incredible tzatziki seasoning blend where you just add yogurt and get an incredible tzatziki anytime you want it. And hey folks, it's Darcy from the Purposeful Pantry, and we talk about dehydrating all the time to stock your pantry for your family. So today is instant tzatziki blend. I'm going to show you how I make this and how you can do it too. And while this is not your traditional tzatziki because it's not fresh, we can do this from dehydrated cucumbers, some herbs from your garden, plus my secret ingredient to make this blend. Okay, first you can take whatever kind of cucumber that you have. You can peel them or not. I choose not to. And you can de-seed them or not. That's up to you. You're going to slice them, chop them, or shred them, whatever works best for you and how you'd like to store them in the pantry. Then you're going to place them onto dehydrator sheets on your dehydrator trays. I do recommend using some kind of sheet. They will shrink a lot. Then you'll place them inside of your dehydrator. You'll set your dehydrator for 125F, 52C, and dry until they're crisp. Once done, you'll place your shreds, cubes, slices, whatever you did, into an airtight container for storage. You may not need all of this for this particular recipe, so have it extra in case you need it. Now typically, this is what I would tell you to do. It's time to condition your jars, especially if you're putting them back for storage. You're going to put your food in a jar that's just a little bit bigger than you need and shake it every day, once a day. Just make sure it's all shaken up. And you're going to make sure that it's actually dry. One, this equalizes moisture throughout the entire jar. You're checking for it sticking to the top, sticking in clumps, that if you just do a quick shake, it doesn't come up, and it comes apart. If it doesn't, and it takes a little bit of work, then it needs to go back into your dehydrator to dry some more. Do this for about 5 days for dry things like this, maybe 7 for fruits, because you might need that extra time, and tomatoes, okay? So at that point, store it. Label it and store it, because you might get this mixed up with zucchini. Not necessarily always a bad thing, but you want to make sure that you know the difference between the two. Once you've done that, when you're ready, you can go ahead and vacuum seal. Just like this. This is not a necessary process, but it's helpful. The one thing that vacuum sealing can benefit, like a lot, is if you are out of jars of the right size and you have a small amount of products, but you only have something larger to put it in, this can solve it so that you don't have all this extra air and moisture that can start making your dehydrated goods soft again. Put a ring on it, date it, label it, don't forget. Okay, but what we're gonna do is make tzatziki. Now this was a lot of cucumbers that I did yesterday getting this ready. This is all that it created, because remember I told you cucumbers are so much water that when you dehydrate it down, you're left with this. So this is a process that you can do all summer long to get it ready for storage for the year. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make a shelf-stable tzatziki mix that you can mix with fresh yogurt or sour cream if you choose to use sour cream anytime you want. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these cucumber bits that we just dried, and we're making powder. If you have a lot to do with this once, you can probably use your larger blender, but we're using my bullet blender today. Just pop this up. So we're going to use this, and here we go. Now you can make this as fine or as coarse as you want, especially if you're using this for things like tzatziki mix or the ranch dressing mix, which I'll put in the description box below. I've got recipes for both of those. I like to keep it a little on the coarse side because I like having that bit of texture in my tzatziki. Now, if you want something really quick and easy to elevate a store-bought condiment that you might have in your refrigerator, we happen to have some of this ranch dressing mix that came with a veggie plate that I had purchased on clearance, dried the vegetables, and then I had this left over. It's been sitting in the refrigerator for a little while. We're going to have it, I don't know, maybe with dinner. All right, we're going to add a little extra dill because we want to freshen it up some. That may be a little much. And I'm going to take some of this cucumber. We're going to mix all this up. So see what you got. And now what you have is an elevated cucumber dill ranch dressing mix. Great for dipping with anything that you like to dip. You'll want to put this in the refrigerator for at least a few hours to allow those cucumbers in there to rehydrate and let all the flavors meld. Okay, so let's put together our mix. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. I keep saying zucchini. We have our cucumber powder, dill, lemon powder, garlic, onion powder, salt, pepper. Now here's something optional. You may not like it, don't add it. But I've had this at a restaurant here in town and really liked it, so I add it to mine I add it to mine just for that extra little weird flavor in it. I really like it. Put in a little mint. It's not traditional, but I like it. Shake it up well. Not really mixed in well. And so you can see how much it makes. It makes about a half a cup. So if you wanted to make this in bulk, when you find the mixture of this that you like the most, you can always just serve this with a half a cup of mix to 2 cups to 2.5 cups of yogurt, however you like it. Now, I have these set aside because what you can do is some of these really small pieces, they will rehydrate pretty well in your tzatziki, and you may like it to have more texture than what this is going to offer you. This is going to make it creamy. You can add a little of these and then just let it set for about 2 hours before you serve it. That way it allows all the flavors to meld, and these will rehydrate just fine. I'm going to add just a small handful. Half a cup of our powder. Now to serve, when you're ready to serve, you can garnish it with a little olive oil, however much you like. So doesn't this look great? It's really awesome stuff. Now, if you want to learn how to do tomatoes much the same way and create an awesome tomato spread for your sandwiches and burgers over the summer, watch this video right here. And until I see you again next time, happy dehydrating.